everybody, it's Lisa from Shabby Road Studio. Welcome back to my channel. Today is an upcycling video. We have our shirts here. If you saw on my community tab, I gave a little hint that we were going to be working with 2 shirts, and I showed you which ones. They kind of go matchy-matchy. So I also picked out some things that I thought we might be using. Like, I don't know for sure, but it's possible. This is just a shirt. Don't know if we'll use any of it, but it is in the matching family. This is a flannel shirt I have that I did a couple years ago. Bleached the bottom. I like to do that, but I saw that it might give a good addition to this. It might not, I don't know. There's some fabric, upholstery fabric with some I don't know what you call that. Here is a skirt. Might use some of that. Here is a feed sack that I cut open. A grain feed sack. Most of you know probably what that is. It's fun to use. I used it on another project. Some other fabric I thought would be fun to use. I possibly will use this old long grungy zipper. And I have this strip that was gifted to me. It's a fun little grungy strip of painted images and numbers and stamps and things. So we're going to be making a grungy streetwear jacket, and we're going to start with those 2 shirts. I'm going to be cutting the center out of this one like we did that oversized tunic, and I'm going to do the same on the other. We're going to swap part of this men's shirt onto that other one. So we're going to be using both shirts but different parts. So I measured over about 4 inches from the collar on either side, and I'm going to draw myself a line that is fairly straight, and then I'm going to cut both sides, take both arms off. Okay, I've cut both of these sleeves off, and now I have this piece left. We're just going to fold this one up out of the way for now. I'm going to bring this one in, the shirt together so that I can straighten it out properly. I'm going to go about 6 inches out on this one. Go. I'm going to do this on both sides and I'll be back. Okay, both of these sleeves are cut off now. I want to use, I think I'm going to go ahead and use this piece as the main centerpiece, and then I'm going to be using the sleeves from the other one. So I'll be sewing this one back on over here. I think I might put a strip of some fabric in between this and this like I did the tunic, because this is going to be more like a coat, and so I want it to have, you know, space. I want it to be bigger, oversized feel to it. so that you can put it on over other clothes, you know. So now we just have to decide what fabrics are going to go in here. Let's measure, like we did with the tunic. I'm going to measure this to the bottom is 30.5. So that's 61. We need a 61-inch strip and maybe maybe like that wide, so 7 inches probably to be safe, to have enough for seam allowance and stuff. So 7 inches by 61, going over the top, both sides. I'm gonna hunt for whatever I feel might work in this section, and I'll be back. Okay, I have cut out 2 strips of this upholstery fabric that I showed you in the beginning. It's green and gold, and I sewed a 7-inch strip up each side of this green front of the shirt. And now we're going to be attaching these corduroy sleeves to this part of it. I will get this pinned on, and then I'll probably pin this one on as well, sew them both, and then come back to show you. Okay, so I just had a change of plan. I started to pin, I put this on the mannequin and I started to pin one of the sleeves on. And I decided that I wanted to take some off up here and then gradually increase it at the bottom. So I took off strips like about this much, starting at the top of each side, so it tapers down a little bit and doesn't leave so much up at the top of the jacket. So now I'm going to put this back on the mannequin and start pinning the arms back on, and I will sew them. But I just wanted to show you what I did before I did that. Okay, I feel like I should be saying welcome back to my channel, because you know, this is the frustration when you're trying to film and make these kind of videos. People don't even begin, unless you're another content creator, you can't even begin to understand the stuff behind the scenes. So as you can see, I have much more done than the last video that you just watched. Why is that, you say? Well, let me tell you. So my phone was running dead on battery, and so I took it down, charged it. When I put it back up to start filming again, the only thing I can think of is that my finger accidentally hit that button where it flips the camera to do like a selfie. So when I was putting it up, I think my finger hit that. So I filmed like 3 segments, you know, showing you what I was doing. And I went to stop for the night because this is a big project and I can't do it all in one day. So this is the next day. When I discovered this last night, it was too late and I was too mad to even try to finish doing anything last night. So anyway, I looked at my phone at the last video and I'm like, why is there a white screen? And so I hit to play the video, and it was my voice, but it was showing you the ceiling. So I flicked to the one before it, same thing, flicked to the one before it, same thing. So 3 videos, sections on this deleted, because all you could hear was my voice and you could see the ceiling. So to say I am, number 1, very frustrated. Number 2, I'm embarrassed because this kind of stuff just shouldn't happen. But here we are. It did happen. And I want to finish this project with you because I think it's a fun project. So you saw, the last thing you saw was me telling you that I cut these down a little bit and I was going to go sew the arms on. So obviously I have sewn the arms on. And of course they're super long because we added this part. So I cut them off at a point. I put this on and cut them off at a point I felt they would fall good for like a jacket. You know, taking the cuffs off. I didn't need these on anymore. And it's possible I may add something else on here, but this is where I wanted to cut these. So I've got all this on, same on this side, and then, boy, it's just, I'm so embarrassed, and I'm mad. On the front, I had told you that I was opening up the sleeve on this green shirt, cut off the cuff, and then I just cut off a part of the sleeve and I sewed it to the bottom of the front to drape down and give length. I did that on both sides. Now let's flip this over. I'm not sure if I showed you this part or not. Okay, so this part is where this piece that I added in was too short, so then I just took a piece of the corduroy shirt and added in a panel here. Same thing on this panel. So we have that length added. And since we have this on the front, we have the length here that's missing now, all the way over to the other side. Do you understand? Like, there's this stretch now of area that I need to add something so that the length in the front, the length in the back matches up with the length in the front. Oh, I'm telling you, this is really frustrating for me. When I saw that white ceiling, I was like, how could I have done such a stupid thing, you know? But it is what it is. I was going to turn this around, but I don't know why, because I have to show you the back. So I think I showed you in the beginning of the video this skirt that I might use. I wanted to use the bottom of it. So I cut this into a section off on the bottom. There was some stains on this skirt. So I patched over that stain, I patched over that one, patched over that one. I don't think there's any more. But this looks cute anyway, so I'm very happy to have had to do that. This is, it's not going to be long enough because we have to come up. Well, this is the short side of it. It goes longer on the front, but either way, we have to come up over these kind of uneven areas of our shirt hem. So my thought was to grab in this eyelet shirt that I showed you that I might be using. And I don't want to use the full length of this because that's going to be too much. So I may have to, I don't know, cut it like to about right there maybe. I'm thinking that might work. And then like add this on. But I want to add this over it, you know, onto this. So it'll be a layered, you have this skirt, but you'll have this green eyelet part underneath of it. That will give us some length in the back to kind of match up with this length in the front that I added by using these sleeves. Okay, I think that catches us up. I really apologize. I can't say anything more than that. I apologize. It was an error, accidental error, and it is very frustrating for me to have lost that footage for you. But we're just going to keep going because I didn't want to just trash this video altogether and just make the jacket. I promised you that I was going to make this. So here we are. I do want to cut this out again. I'm going to do that right now. I want to cut that out because that's what I like to do to give the fraying around there. One of these days, I'm not going to have so many technical difficulties. But it's a learning experience. First, YouTube is a learning experience, and doing these kind of videos, upcycling, where you have to stop the video and go do something and come back and start it back up again. It's very time consuming and kind of tricky to make sure everything is the way it was when you left. So I'm gonna take that button off. So just bear with me. I'm enjoying doing these, and I'm not going to let something as silly as a accidental situation like today or yesterday happen. I was just sitting there last night trying to think, like, how could this have happened? And I wanted to just come up here and start filming again, but I was just too tired and too mad at myself for that. So I waited till this morning so that I could be fresh from a night's sleep and we could start over. So, all right, that's gonna look neat when it's washed and dried and frayed. Okay, I am going to get this part ready and get it sewed on, and then I will come back and show you. Okay, I am back from sewing all this ruffly stuff on the back. That was a challenge, but I did it. It's super cute. This part kind of just hangs loose here, given that login look, I should say, and the layered ruffle over the eyelet is super cute. So we're done with the back for now. I think that I'm going to start adding some things to the front using some of the items I showed you at the beginning of the video. So I have this flannel shirt I wanted to use. I want to cut out these pockets and sew those on, and I want to sew my big zipper on. It's just a big grungy industrial kind of zipper, and I feel like I want to sew it on somewhere like right there. It's just going to be sewed on either side with zigzag. This zipper isn't going to work for anything. It's just decorative, but it does add a little grunge, a little industrial grunge to it, streetwear. So I think probably that's going to go there. These pockets will go kind of somewhere, you know, just odd placements on here. I don't know if I'm going to end up using the grain sack. Probably not. And that's what happens. You pick some out you don't use, and you add some in you didn't plan to. I still have this strip, kind of like grungy, painted snippet roll type thing. Kind of want to use that somewhere. I'm not sure. I might, you know, snip out a piece, add it to the bottom somewhere, but I kind of want to use that still. Also, it's possible I might use this leftover piece from this green shirt on around the cuff of this sleeve. So, you know, something like that, which I think will be fun. All right, so I'm going to go do some of this stuff, and then I'll be back. This is such a big project, and even with the camera way up higher, it's going to be hard for you to see all of it, and there isn't anything I can do about that. But once the video is finished and I show you in the end, you'll be able to get a really good idea of how this looks, and it's really looking cute, you guys. I do actually think I'm going to dip it in a dye bath. I feel like the dye bath will bring in, tone down this a little, kind of tone it down enough to where it'll just blend super nice. So I think that's the plan. I'll be back when I do some of these that I just showed you. The diameter of the sleeves, and it's about 16 inches. So I have enough, just enough on these pieces that I had left from that green shirt. What a great coincidence, huh? So I'm going to mark this. We need it a little past 16 if we're going to have enough. So right there. Right there. And then we'll cut this one, and we will then cut the other one out from this, using this one as a pattern. Boy, oh boy. Okay. Now we have these two pieces that can go around and be the cuff on our coat. I tell you, it's really looking so cute. I can't wait till you can see it, all of it, like outside where it's really nice and light. The funky zipper, the pockets, it really is turning out way better than I even expected. So I'm anxious for you to see the finished product. Okay, so I'm gonna go sew these on and I will be back. Okay, so we have the funky zipper, the pockets, we have the sleeve cuffs sewn on. It is looking very industrial grunge right now. Still gonna add a couple things before I put it in the dye bath, but it's getting close. It's very close to being done. So I'm pretty happy with it so far. Not sure if I'll add anything on the collar or not. Sometimes I like to add something on here. Might do that. The more things, it's just fun, artsy. Then we'll stick it in the dye bath, and you'll be able to see everything come together once that dye hits it. So anyways, I will go and decide what little tidbits I want to add to this, but I am loving this big coat. I tried it on. I wear a size 14. I'm gonna just be transparent here. I wear a size 14 or extra large in women's. This is big on me. It is big and baggy. That is the whole idea of this coat. It's an oversized overcoat that you throw on. You can throw this on over a sweater or a bulky sweatshirt. This is what this is. And so it's not going to be for a petite person by any means, because it is big on me and I'm not real skinny. So anyways, I'm going to go and see what other tidbits I want to add before we put it in the dye bath, and I'll be back. Okay, I think I am ready to put this in the dye bath. I sewed a little patch here with a hand stamp I did there. What else? I did a little messy stitching on the collar. I sewed this on over the buttonhole area. I put this patch here. So I put the patch, and then I put some of the fringe around it that was on, I think it was on this fabric, this fringe. And then I just sewed a piece of this green shirt, the seam, I put that there just for fun. Yeah, I think that's all that you haven't seen. So I think we're ready to throw this big, gigantic coat into the dye, and I hope there's enough dye left. I don't have a ton, but I hope there's enough dye left to just kind of tone down the bright areas and just make this more vintagey, grungy looking. So that's my goal. So say goodbye. I will show you when it's done. Okay, guys. So I put this in the dye bath, and as you can see, it really changed it. It turned it from green to brown. Like, everything is brown, which, I mean, makes sense, right? I did put it in a brown dye bath, and that's good. I like the way everything turned out, except I have an issue now that I never expected. So I debated on whether to just trash this whole video and not even show it to you. But I really feel like it's worth showing what can happen. It's more important to show what can happen than it is to save my embarrassment and discouragement. So I'm going to show you what happened, and then I'm going to go from there. The coat is turning out so cool, just like I had hoped, but it's it can't stay like this. So this part here that is the upholstery fabric, when I washed and dried it, it just started coming apart at the seams. It's like right here. It just started just coming apart. It didn't matter, you know. It came right out, even past where I sewed it. Not everywhere, but on several spots, to where I just feel like now it's a lost cause, and it makes me very sad and discouraged because the coat was turning out super cute. I've thought about options. I'm trying to think about what I could do. My husband says, well, couldn't you just take the green out? I can, and that's probably what I'm going to have to do. I don't want to do that. I'm going to probably have to do it. But it's just going to mess up everything because I have the zipper here. I have the patches sewn onto it. I mean, it's going to be a huge job to take these out. But the alternative is just to throw this away, and I can't do that. It's just super cute. The back, I mean, all the ruffles. Yeah, this took the dye funky, but that's all part of these kind of this kind of clothing. That's just, it's upcycled. It's what you get. But I can't, you know, I was going to put this in my Etsy shop. I'm not going to sell it with it coming apart, you know. I would die if that happened to something after I sold it. So that's why I started washing things after the fact. Usually I wash the clothing first, made the items, but I really started to wash and dry the items after I was finished to make sure something like that wouldn't happen. So I'm glad it did for me. I mean, if it was going to happen, I'm glad it happened for me. But now I have to decide what to do, and I guess my only alternative is to try to take these out. I'll probably just bring these in together so that the coat will be smaller, and maybe that's okay. Maybe it was too big, and we'll go from there. I'm not going to give up on it, even though I'm really discouraged right now and want to give up. I just don't think that's the right answer, because this is going to happen. It's not going to just happen to me. It's going to happen to other people, and maybe I can encourage someone just to keep going and, you know, do what you got to do to save it. I do like the way this took the brown on this green, and that's too bad that it had to fray like that. I mean, it just literally was, I don't know. I've never seen anything like it. So that's this stage of the game, and the space between this video and the next with what I end up doing will only be a split second for you. I don't know how long that gap will be for me, but I'm going to start taking this apart. So I will see you on the next part of this after I figure it out. Well, good morning, everyone. Wow, that last clip just showed how disappointed and discouraged I was last night. Today is a new day. I have had a good night's rest, and I have had time to think about this. I did spend 2 hours seam ripping all this panel out. It's the only thing I could have done. Very discouraging, very disappointing, but just so you know, like, this happens when you're just experimenting with things. I am not a big seamstress. I don't who would have known that, well, let's see. Just this upholstery fabric just wanted to shred. Like, okay, right here is a good example. I just want to show this to you because I don't want this to happen to anybody else. I thought it would be a cool idea to use this because it's texture. These things took the dye really good. It really, I thought it was cute here. I really did. But this is what happened. It just started literally just fraying right past the stitching. So it was I did do some pinking. I took pinking shears to some of it where I could get close enough. But that didn't even help really. So this was just it was a bad experience. What are you gonna do? I'm not a quitter. I didn't want to just toss this whole project in the garbage. I like what we have going on here. So now I'm going to be just sewing these back together right here. I have lifted up my patches, my pockets. I'm going to just re-sew them on. I'm going to put this one back together here as best as I can. And then I will have to, let me move this up. I will have to do some finagling with the ruffle that goes around because there's obviously too much ruffle now. So I'm going to have to do some work there. The sad thing is that because I've dyed this, I can't really add. I mean, I could, but adding something else now, it won't be dyed. Like if I added some other fabric, it's just going to be a little brighter because it hasn't gone through the dye process. That's what I'm trying to say here. So I'm not sure if we'll just sew these up and be done. I don't know. But this is where we're at. These things, this is where the panels were. It didn't work, so we're going to move these in. It'll be a smaller jacket. Might be a happy accident. Maybe it was just going to be too big. I was going for an oversized jacket, just really baggy and comfortable. This is still going to be cute. I like the colors, the way they're blending and everything, and all the fun little textures and pockets and raveling and fraying, I should say. So I'm going to go now and just try to get this stitched back together with fabrics that stay together. You guys, I really debated. I really did. I struggled with whether to show this because nobody wants to fail, but I felt like you had to know. I don't want anybody else to, you know, try to work with this stuff. Maybe there's a way you could do it differently than I did and it would work. I don't know, but it was just literally falling apart. So, unfortunately, we have to move on, and that's what I'm going to do. So, I'll see you on the next video after I finish. I'll see you when I'm done. What an experience this has been. I am finally finished sewing this back together. I sewed all the sides back up, and then I put the like the pockets and the patches and things back over. I am telling you what, I am not a quitter, and this project has really pushed me to my limits. From the camera being facing the wrong way by accident to this horrible accident with this upholstery fabric raveling. This has been a huge challenge, but it's taught me a lot of things. Number one, not all fabrics are going to work. Number two, if you're going to do this kind of job, I guess, as in upcycling on YouTube, you're going to have to make choices, and either you're going to show the mistakes and fix them, or you just aren't going to be able to do it, because you're always going to have some mistakes along the way. I've had my share of mistakes, but this absolutely was the worst I've experienced yet, and I hope to not have to experience this again. I love this jacket, though. I didn't want to give up on it. I've been wanting to do a real grungy, type jacket, and when I saw the two shirts, it really formed a picture in my mind of what I wanted this to look like. It might be a happy accident. Maybe it's better that this is smaller. I did like the looks of this fabric with it, but it wasn't meant to be. So out with that, and here we are with this. It's as finished as it's going to be. I think it turned out pretty good after all the mistakes and all the bad luck we had. So it's got a lot of details on it, just little patches, little the eyelet material over the corduroy. I've got 2 flannel pockets here. They open, they're just buttoned closed right now. I wanted to use this big industrial zipper on here. Again, it doesn't do anything, it's just for looks. We just got bits and pieces. It's very layery down at the bottom. There's still some threads that need to be cut off. I'll do that after I'm done. I have just another little pocket here with some fabrics that I was able to salvage from what I cut off. Again, this is just how the dye took. It's almost like some red, but this is just grunge. This is grungy. This is the way it's going to go into the Etsy shop. Somebody who gets this, I hope, will love it, and I hope they know just how much effort and how much of my heart is in this jacket. I didn't want to give up on it. I didn't want to throw it out, and I'm super glad I didn't. There's, I salvaged this patch and put it down here. So yeah, it's very layery at the bottom. Lots of patching and pockets on the front. Not too much going on the back. Just this big patch. I stamped condemned on that. Not much else going on. And all the ruffly kind of layers down here with some patches. It's just, I don't know. I had a vision for this, and I wasn't going to give up. I didn't want to just toss it away after I had the accident. So this has been a long project, lots of hours behind the scenes. The video isn't going to be that awful long because obviously I had to cut out some episodes that were shooting towards the ceiling instead of down, so I had to take those out. But this project took hours, so 2 hours ripping all the seams out. I just spent 3 hours this morning putting this all back together. So 5 extra hours that were unnecessary on top of the time I spent creating this in the first place. So that to say, I am happy with the way it ended up. It's grungy. It's perfect for fall. Thank you for watching this. I hope that you can gain some knowledge on mistakes that can happen, and most of all, I guess I want everybody to take away from this is never give up. Never give up. If you want to make something work, never give up. So, all right, you guys, after this, don't leave yet. After this, I'm going to put pictures of this on the mannequin. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.